Hi, my name's David Zimmel. I'm the host of Shades of Havana. We're here at the Perfect Ash in Colts Neck. We have Mike Sicoli, Ken Krantz, and Rich Deblase, owner. I am smoking a Aroma de Cuba. Very nice. I like the bigger ring gauge, so this is perfect. Why don't you guys introduce yourself and let us know what you're smoking?
I'm Mike Sicoli, and I'm smoking a Flor de Las Antillas. It's my father's cigar, and I have weed, but I was kind of feeling out the room.
You can bring that out anytime you want.
The weed? Oh, don't tell me that. I was about to say, I'm going to be cross-eyed by the end of this thing then.
I'm Ken Krantz. I'm smoking a Perdomo, 10-year anniversary.
That looks good.
That is a good cigar.
It is good. I don't know anything about cigars, but I'm
Rich Deblase, owner of the Perfect Ash. As we say, it is perfect. I'm smoking the El Final, a DBL by Francisco. His brand new one that's coming out at the show, which is the PCA show in Vegas starting Friday.
So I just want to say that I'm a member here. This is, one of the finest cigar lounges I've been to. It's fantastic. We have some cigar lockers here, which you can't see, which is great. And the other thing too, which Rich has put together here, which I think is spectacular, is that if you're a member, you get a key to the door.
Correct.
And you obviously have a key to your locker, and you're free to come in 24/7.
You ever see a guy standing naked by one of the lockers?
Not yet.
Why you
Not
your
yet.
clothes?
Not yet. Rich has been his shirt off, but not naked.
You don't want to smell like smoke when you
No,
leave,
definitely
right?
not.
But it's really a very comfortable place. We have the TVs. There's a great bunch of guys that are here. And what's perfect is if you want to come in at 11 o'clock at night and have a card game, you're free to come. Obviously, Rich has cameras up here to make sure no one does anything wrong. But it's truly a great place. So I would highly recommend anybody that wants to come and hang out. It's a great place. So Rich, along those lines, you opened up how long ago?
I opened up 2 weeks before COVID, which was 2020.
Wow. So how did you find, what happened with COVID? And
We just overserved everyone. We were doing roadside, a lot of deliveries, and people were flocking to us, calling us, because everybody was home during COVID and they didn't want to leave their homes. So we would drop them off, and they were happy to do that. We were happy to do that, and they loved it, and they became friends and members.
And how long did it take for people to start coming back in?
Very quickly. They started to come back quickly, but they were okay with sitting in the back room because we were officially shut down. And they would come in and leave and come in and do their work, because nobody wanted to work from home all day long. So the stress with the children and the wife, they came here and relaxed for 20 minutes and go home.
In one of the earlier episodes, someone mentioned, I don't know if this is true or not, but they say that, because I was concerned coming inside, because the thought of blowing smoke and, but some people say that there was an article that the cigar smoke kind of prevented
Yes.
the COVID. Is that, you think, is that?
That came out. Pence said it, actually. He was on the podium.
Oh, is that right?
Speaking about it, yeah.
Yeah, and what's funny is that I really didn't hear of a situation where someone claimed that they got COVID, in the cigar lounge. So, maybe there's some
On
truth to that.
the record, we had no one here that had gotten COVID.
Off the record, there were 74.
That was the wedding the night before.
I heard cigars boost your testosterone, so they
100%.
definitely do something, right? I don't know what they're doing, but if it has
Well, I
something
could tell
to
you
do
it's
with it.
66. I think that's a true statement. But Rich, just real quick, you have a really, really nice humidor. How did you come up with? In other words, how do you decide what you're going to carry?
So basically, it took me 2 years of driving to every cigar store from here to Virginia. And I would do my pros and cons, and I'd eliminate all the cons, and I figured out what I wanted, the blends, what cigars I wanted in here. Some I tested that didn't sell, so I eliminated them.
Right.
But most of them come back for the same cigars that I have, and I always add and try to bring in new cigars.
So like my father, for instance, do they want you to carry all the different ones, or do you have,
Yeah, that's a tough part. Some companies do want you to do that in the beginning, just to see if you're real. But now that I've been in business for 2 years, I order whatever I
What,
want.
what
Yeah.
you want. So, guys, you both are your claim to fame is comedy. Okay, we'll see. We'll see how good you guys are. Is that your main job right now? Is that you're comedians and that's it, or is it a side job?
It's still a side job for me. Most comics I know have day jobs, but it's trending in the right direction.
So, what happened with you guys during COVID? I mean, how did you guys? You know, were you, I assume you were down for a while because
There was a little bit of a hiatus. Then shows started coming back outside. There was a lot of outdoor shows, which were okay. They were all right. I mean, some of them were good. It depends on how they were set up. People sometimes would be in their cars. And instead of laughing, they would beep, which I always thought was kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's
Even during
pathetic.
your
That's
set.
gotta
Yeah.
be.
I didn't do any of those.
You didn't do them?
No,
You
I
did
didn't.
Zoom shows?
I did 2 Zoom shows.
Did a couple Zoom shows too.
And I said I don't need. I heard someone say that Zoom was the future of comedy, and if you didn't get on board now, you were going to get left behind.
Yeah.
During COVID, and I was, well, you can leave me behind then.
Well, you know, it's funny because during COVID, it was one of my friend's birthdays, and they had a comedian on Zoom. Everyone was on Zoom for his birthday, and it just didn't seem that great.
No.
It definitely loses a little something.
A lot of people thought there was like a big misconception about those Zoom shows where people thought you'd just stand there and you'd be doing your jokes and there'd be nothing in return. There'd be no laughing or anything like that. But most of the time, everybody kept their mics on. And I thought one cool part about it was...
Oh, so you actually heard the laugh.
Yeah, you actually
so
heard
that's-
people
yeah,
laugh.
that's
Yeah.
Not the one I did.
Not the one you did? Oh,
Maybe it
one
was
I-
your jokes.
He heard crickets. He
Yeah,
heard the
but
crickets.
if I'm not going to hear laughs, I want to look the people in the eye, not laughing at me.
yeah. And then you
Over
can just,
Zoom was.
you're able to cry in your living room other than like on the way home.
I did like the leave meeting button, and then you were just back in your own world. Like that, I like.
I ripped a bong on one of those.
Oh, really?
I did, yeah. As soon as we started, I came on the camera and I just ripped my bong and then did the rest of my set. You're sitting in your house.
Probably
by
went
yourself.
over well.
I had a good time. I had fun.
You left in your own jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you guys, when you're on stage, if the audience is really like, you know, does that like kind of like get you pumped up, or what happens if things aren't, you know, you sense that the audience is not, you know, laughing? I mean, what happens with that? Not that I'm saying that ever happens to you guys, but I mean, I guess it's a big positive if there's a good audience.
Usually when you go to a stand-up comedy show, you want them to laugh.
Right.
Like when you don't ever want to go up there and not have them laugh. Sometimes shit happens though. I mean, sometimes it's good. It humbles you up. You're trying new stuff. Maybe something didn't work. You ask yourself why didn't it work. But bombing always sucks.
Yeah, but at that
It's
point,
funny.
you just abort that joke and you move on and try to build
Yeah, or
something
like
else
it doesn't
up.
necessarily mean the joke doesn't work. It could be that night. It could be like you're missing something. What does this need?
Sometimes it's the crowd is terrible.
Right.
So there's nights where I'm up there bombing and I know it's my fault, and there's other nights where I'm like, no, it's these people.
Do you guys ever change up, like, you know, you have like a script, so to speak, of what your joke's going to be, depending upon the audience? Do you guys change things up midstream, or do you go with your program?
Well, I just had a show. I just got back from Maryland. I did a show in Maryland at this place, and we got there, and I was like, I know kind of what I want to do. And then the show started, and I see everybody walking in, and they were getting older and older and older, and by the end they like wheeled 2 urns in, and I was like, there's definitely no way I'm gonna be able to do some of this stuff. But like you feel it out. It's like you dip your toe in the water, you feel them out if they're there for it. Sometimes the older people like talking shit. Sometimes they like, you know, getting dirty, and sometimes, you know, you just got to feel them out, really.
Are you both kind of, is your axe dirty, or
I don't think.
Not
I don't-
filthy.
Not
I mean,
dirty.
it
Not
depends.
graphic. I'm dark. Like I like making fun of. Am I allowed to curse on this?
yeah.
I like making fun of fucked up things, but I'm not dirty. Like I get bored with.
There's vulgar and there's dirty.
Right.
Right. Yeah. I don't think either of us are vulgar.
So going along those lines, the freedom of speech thing, how does that play into, you know, your act obviously you can say what you want to say, but today with this whole freedom of speech thing, how do you think that plays out?
I feel like it feels kind of like a seesaw, right? Like, you don't want to be so offensive that it's not funny. You don't want to be like, you kind of, if you're going to say something offensive, that's like your style. If you want to be like, push the boundaries a little bit, it's got to be equally as funny as it is offensive or more funny than it is offensive. It all depends on how funny it is. Like, there's certain things, obviously, like, you don't talk about. You have to be stupid to bring some of this stuff up. But, like, I feel like if it's equally as funny or funnier than whatever you're talking about, it should be okay. You're not everybody's cup of tea all the time. Someone's going to get pissed off.
It's funny because I'm a big Don Rickles fan. And
One of the best.
when I watch his stuff, it's amazing because today, that would never fall. I mean, he couldn't.
You can't.
Even though it was all done in fun, but his jokes were,
He would have a tough time today, for sure. Guys like Mike and I, I can say whatever I want because I'm not famous and nobody is going to get famous attaching outrage to something I say. So I think the more famous you are and the more you have to lose, the trickier what you can say in clubs becomes. Nobody's going to film me saying an offensive joke and put it on YouTube and get 1 million comments on it. So
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't feel it. Like I walk into a club saying I can say anything I want tonight.
Yeah, I've never had anybody tell me they were upset.
Oh, I've had
You
lots
have.
Of, yeah,
you have.
I've had people waiting outside clubs.
Really?
Yeah, I've had and it's always somebody getting offended on someone else's behalf. It's nobody ever says you offended me when you said this. It's always I have a transgender sister and I don't think you should be able to talk like that.
Does anybody during the show yell out like a
They
comment?
hackle, huh? They have to hackle you.
You've had that.
I've had that. I mean, yeah. Some people just want to be like part of the show, which is annoying. Yeah. But the thing, an older comic told me this once, like when you get a heckler, you give them 2 shots, right? So they could say something and kind of let it go or like, bring attention to it, but don't like go after them right away. And then you let them do it again. And then by that time, now they're pissing the crowd off because the crowd paid, they came to see a show, they got some asshole yelling out shit from the back of the room. And then by the 3rd time they do it, you can say whatever you want about this person. And they're not going to feel bad for them. They're not going to turn on you.
It is called comedy.
Yeah.
It is comedy.
Some people just want to be
They gotta
part of
lighten
it.
up.
People get too drunk.
Right.
It's like an achievement if you could throw them off. Everyone always telling them like a lot of people's friends will be like, "Oh, you're so funny, you should try stand up." I feel like those are the people who heckle a lot.
Yes.
The
They
people
sit
like, "I
up
could do
front,
this."
they want the attention.
Yeah.
So we're at Perfect Dash in Colts Neck. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Rich Deblase, owner of the Perfect Dash. What we do here is we supply our humidor with premium cigars as well as boutique cigars. What we pride ourselves on is making the customer happy. We want our customers to enjoy the experience of being here and being in the lounge. And that's what a lounge is all about. That's why you should come. Enjoy yourself and relax with friends and family. What are you smoking? The Perfect Dash.
In this new day and age of online meetings and presentations, you need the best team at the ready. Whether broadcasting your Zoom meetings to Facebook Live or live streaming a fundraiser event, Surreal Streaming Services, with over 10 years of experience, can add confidence to your next live stream event. Call or text 646-498-8888 or visit sur-real.com. MRD Productions is a full-service digital media company dedicated to creating and producing content with purpose. If you or your company are looking to create a video or commercial that pops, produce a show or podcast of your own, call 718-216-6403 or email info@mrdproductionsllc.com.
My name's David Zimmel, host of Shades of Havana. We're here at the Perfect Dash in Colts Neck. We're back with Mike Sicoli, Ken Krantz, and Rich Deblase. So you guys had just mentioned you were in Pennsylvania doing a show and you went to J&R. The cigar community is very interesting. we were saying that, many times you can go into a cigar lounge, not know anybody, and just sit down and talk to people and feel comfortable. Like, what was your experience? Like, you went, you didn't know anybody, what was the experience like?
Seems like a lot of guys trying to get away from their wives.
That's a big part of it. Yes.
Yeah, seems like they all had that in common. It just seems like, it's like a club, like you go there, you meet up with your friends. Right. It's kind of like a clubhouse. Like, you ever
I call this Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
Yeah.
Right.
I was thinking more
it's
like
the, and it's like the Seinfeld show. We talk about nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Well, what's great also is I've been here, like during the Super Bowl. Rich has, we have pools up on, and it's an unbelievable community. The camaraderie amongst the guys is unparalleled to what I've ever seen, and it's all different people.
Yes.
I mean, it can be, policemen, business people,
Doctors, lawyers,
everyone gets
police
along.
force,
It's really very interesting. I mean, it's.
I saw the guy who pumps my gas outside when I walked in. Not even kidding.
He's probably my best customer.
Probably. He didn't recognize me. He didn't even wave to me. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
You didn't tip him.
No, tip the gas guy. You're supposed to do
Not
that.
$1.
Oh, he
$1.
pumped your. Oh, you did, that's right. You don't pump your own gas.
No, not here.
You know what it is, Dave? So like tonight, we're gonna do Cornhole Wednesday. Buddy of mine's bringing 40 lobsters. We're gonna cook lobsters in the back. We have corn, everything, and we're just gonna play cornhole for fun. Everybody sits back there and throws a beanbag in a hole, and we just laugh all night.
Yeah, it's a good escape too. I think that I find, like, when I come, I try to come like around 4:30, 5 o'clock. If I have a tough day, and I come here and I have a cigar and hang out and bullshit, by the time I'm driving home, I'm relaxed. I mean, I forgot about my problems a little bit, and it's
Stress relief, yeah, definitely stress relief. But you get to meet interesting people along the way, and if someone can help you out, they'll help you out, or they'll try to. If they can't, they can't. But that's the community in the cigar business. I could go to any cigar store around or lounge, make friends, and shoot the breeze. And then next thing you know, he's at my house sitting in my pool.
Right.
I hope you invite him.
I did.
So what time should we be at your place for cornhole later?
Anytime. It's always open house.
No, it really it's a great thing. And even there's times where I'll come here and I'll bring my iPad in. I can do some work. Because sometimes in the earlier afternoon it's quieter. And like I said, you come here. Sometimes there's a football game on. The place is packed. People are going nuts. You're really into the game. It's really exciting. What do you think about anybody a Yankee fan here?
Huge Yankee fan.
So what do we think?
I don't watch baseball, but I'm a Yankee fan. My dad was like a huge Yankee fan, diehard, so it was like instilled in me so much that I don't watch, but I hate anybody wearing a hat with a Boston Red Sox logo on it.
That's, yeah.
Anybody's accent. I'm like, let me feel this guy a little bit before I'm friends with him. Like, I don't know. I got that hatred of Boston and
that's taboo
in my blood.
Yeah, but I'll tell you.
And I don't even care. I don't even care that much. But for some reason.
So I'll tell you a funny story. So my one of my kids married a girl from Boston, and they're big Boston fans, and he has 3 kids, and I've probably done everything possible to indoctrinate these kids into the Yankees. Yeah. I'm a Devil fan, the Giants. I think I've done a pretty good job so far. But when they got married, I went up there for the wedding, and I went to Fenway. And I had gotten tickets, and we had 6 tickets, 4, and there were 2 Boston fans, and then the other 2 tickets. And we got there, they saw that they were with me, and they said, "Oh, would you like us to move over?" And I said to myself, in Yankee Stadium, that would never fucking happen.
Never.
No,
They wouldn't be asking anybody to move over. I mean,
you're not gonna lie, I'm actually a Red Sox fan.
oh, are you really? You were pretty quiet about that.
No.
out.
I'm weird. I'm New York across the board, but with baseball, the first several games that I went to were at Fenway. And I fell in love with Fenway. I started watching
It is a great
baseball.
stadium.
Great
Right,
stadium.
yeah.
It's a great stadium, and I liked it for the same reason I liked the old Yankee Stadium, because you could feel the history. When you're sitting there and you're like, oh, Babe Ruth swung his bat here, Joe DiMaggio swung his bat here. That's very cool. You don't feel that in the new.
No,
stadium.
I agree with that.
It was too commercialized, the new stadium.
Yeah, but
Corporate,
I was
so.
there, and I don't own any jerseys, but I was at a Yankees Red Sox game, probably with a Red Sox hat, and a father behind me was just giving me shit the whole time.
Oh my God, this sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah, he had
think
his
that
little
was me and my
kids.
dad.
It may have been. He was pretty angry. He had his little kids. He had like a little boy and a little girl, and he was yelling obscenities at. And I'm just sitting there enjoying the game.
You had a hat on.
I had a hat on. I took an edible. You know, I was stoned and not bothering anybody. But I remember thinking like how, and I like sports, but like this is the example you want to set for your kids.
Well, the New York fans and also the Philly fans too.
Philly fans.
Philly fans are rough.
They're the worst. Yeah, they are definitely the worst.
I'm a Giants fan, and I went to an Eagles game one year with my friend, and we were like, we're not going to wear any Giants anything, and we're in Philly, and we were like, if something good happens, like don't draw attention to yourself. And the very first play of the game, Jesse Armstead picked off Bobby Hoying and ran it in for a touchdown. So it was like 7-0 with 4 seconds taken off the clock. And we jumped up, and all this, we were like just two guys in a sea of green that were still sitting down. And we jumped up, and we were targeted the rest of it. They were throwing batteries
I remember
at us.
distinctly. So all my kids played hockey, and we're big hockey fans. And so I took my kids when they were younger to the Philadelphia to see a Flyer Devil game. And there was two guys in front of us with Devil jerseys. And they got up one time to say something. And all of a sudden, over my shoulder, guy punched this guy in the head. I mean, like, and I got my, 7 and 8 year old kids. I'm saying to myself, this is too much.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining me. We're at the Perfect Ash in Colts Neck. My name's David Zimmel. I'm the host of Shades of Havana. And all I want to know is, what are you smoking?
Shades of Havana with your host David Zimmel, along with our guests Mike Sicoli, Ken Krantz, and Rich Deblase. Directed by Rod Weber. Created by Michael R. Doyle and Rod Weber. Producers David Zimmel and Erwin Sternberg. Executive producers Michael R. Doyle and Sean M. Sternberg. Co-producers Steve Zimke and John P. Doyle. Camera and sound Mark Manassi and Sean Duenas. Editor Steve Zimke. And special thanks to Rich Deblase for hosting us at The Perfect Ash in Colts Neck, New Jersey. Shades of Havana was brought to you by Surreal, sur-real.com for all your streaming service solutions, or call 646-498-8888. Our sponsors' websites and phone numbers are also provided in the show notes. When you visit our sponsors, you're helping them and helping our show. And if you enjoy Shades of Havana, we hope you tell your friends and give us a great rating wherever you get your podcasts. All opinions expressed by the Shades of Havana participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Shades of Havana, Inc., a subsidiary of MRD Productions, LLC. Shades of Havana is an MRD production.